hello to Marcia, who's obviously just jumped on board Safari with us and would like to know what is going on here. Well, this is the Investec pack of wild dog, and there's 3 adults, 11 pups, and they're sadly just north of our boundary. So we've been spending the whole afternoon with them, hoping that they were going to get up and active, which they did eventually, but within about a minute they were out of our property. So we are just currently standing by now. You'll get a few glimpses of them, hoping that they come back south. There's nothing stopping them doing that, and it'll be great if they do. And Sandy and Brian would like to know, how old are the pups? And they would have been born around May this year. That's typically when wild dog in this neck of the woods will den site. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, coming on 8 months. And they would have been running with the pack from as young as 3 months of age. So they've been on the road for about 5 months now. And miraculous that so many members of this pack are still alive. The mortality rate of young pups is very, very high in this area. So far so good. 8 months and counting. I wish we could see what the rest of the pack were up to. There's just that one that we can kind of see loping about there. I think they are still kind of just at the water's edge. You can see a few ears poking up there, but it is far away. There's a little bit of movement, so I'm guessing that's where all of them are. And let's just give it a few more minutes before we race off. Because they are such long distance hunters very often, they could well find some potential prey nearby and chase it straight back onto Djuma. And Don's just asked me how many of these adults. Oh yes, this is exactly what we wanted, an elephant to arrive, because elephants chase wild dogs and it can be quite a spectacle. They just threw some sand onto his body, and I think you can probably already smell one of them. The wind is blowing gently in its direction. They don't take kindly to wild dog. And here we go. Here goes. We're going to see wild dogs bombshelling in all directions. Who knows, maybe the elephant's going to chase them back to Djuma. Or maybe because he's alone, he's going to run away. Look at his tail being kinked out. So now he's caught sense of them for the first time. That tail kinked out is very diagnostic behavior of an unhappy elephant. So if that happens to you, give the elephant space. Now, what is this Ellie going to do? Is it going to leave? I'd be surprised if it is. Maybe it's not feeling very confident because it's alone. How bizarre. I really thought that monster animal, the elephant, would have had no problem chasing the wild dogs, but that's the beauty of being on safari. You simply do not know what is going to happen and or when. Well, sadly, it looks like the pack are continuing on in a northerly direction. Apologies, Don, I got interrupted there as I was halfway through your question there about how many of these pups do I think will survive to adulthood. Had you have asked me this 5 months ago when they started running with the pack, I would have said 3 or 4, 30%. But now that 11 out of what I think was 12 initially are still alive, I'm confident that all 11 could make it till adulthood. They've survived the hardest kind of stage, the first few months running with the pack. So let's hope all of them make it, because they've made it through this initial kind of window period, Don. And that's why earlier on I mentioned they've done incredibly, incredibly well. hello to Susan in Tennessee. And Susan would like to know why the wild dogs of the Greater Kruger National Park do not form larger super packs like they do in certain other areas. And Susan, I think they do. I mean, there are certainly one or two large packs within the Kruger National Park, and there certainly have been in the past, but those numbers will fluctuate. Why in general they're not large, I don't have the slightest clue. There are some areas like in Botswana where you get very large packs more readily than here. But I'm not too sure what the contributing factors are for that. I'm sure there's many. But I wouldn't be able to cast light on that. I simply haven't spent enough time with these animals and with bigger packs of them. Oh, well, James has got something exciting that he would like to show you. Some mongoose with some baby mongoose. Enjoy.
Now, the link between this animal